Hello, everyone. Friday, January 19th. Um, Quickly wanted to go over some pairs before the weekend. But let's first look at the disclaimer. All right, so maybe I did it wrong. Okay, no. So that should be it. Okay, DXY. It's been quite a tear. This is the monthly. Um, we've been down for, this is the 7th month. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, sorry, the 5th month. You can see clear 5 waves. If we put a fib extension on here from, let's say, the first wave, you can see we almost reached 261. So a little correction wouldn't be out of the question from a monthly point of view. So, be prepared. We could go down a little bit more. Real support actually doesn't come in until 88. 60 to 88 or to 99.60, 89.60, sorry. So that's still a little bit ways to go. We've got at the moment some bullish RSI divergence on the monthly, but we have to see, where we close. So be careful. Quick look at the weekly. We haven't reached our targets yet, which would be the 38 to 89.92, and maybe a little bit lower so we can get to that 50 line. On a daily, there's that 89.60 level again. So I would say there's still downside left before we can have some correction. Same thing here. Almost reached the 261, but there's still downside. 4 hour. We're bouncing a little bit now, but as you can see on the weekly, we are at resistance. Albeit it's probably not strong resistance. That comes in a little bit higher at 90.80. So a little bounce here, wouldn't be out of the question. 90, well, this level, and then down more. So let me, like on a weekly, on an hourly, some bounce here, and then down again. Okay, just gonna do weekly and daily on the majors. Euro dollar, 5 weeks up, and no surprise if the DXY is down 5 weeks, then euro dollar will be up 5 weeks because it's 57% of the DXY. You can see here it's some concentration. It's a difficult level here. We're not just going to slice through it. So a little bit higher. I'm thinking 24.50 as a test of this entire, congestion, so to speak, and then down for a nice correction, and then up again. On a daily, Whoops. You know, let me zoom in. 24. Let me turn this off. Auto. So, you know, 2376, and then, you know, this upper parallel of the original fork, I talked about it. The original fork is, I put it in red here. You know, going back to December 2016, was support here, support here. At some point, we should reach the upper parallel and then get a pullback. So that's the idea. If we get a pullback now, then the median line should provide support, like right here, right, and resistance here. So, you know, it's very important, this original fork, the red one. So if on a daily, you gotta say, like, of course it's moving up every day by a number of pips. I can't really see how much, but you know, 1270, the area 2170, I mean, the area between, you know, 21 and 2170, that should hold for now, for the bullish case to further develop. On a 4-hour, so we touched this upper parallel almost, you know, twice. Still think we're gonna go higher. So 2450 is a level, you know, to look for a bigger pullback on euro dollar. Then dollar yen. We're still, what is it now? It's 110.75. It's having some problems. I would have expected it to be lower already, especially with the you know, the budget, the funding of the government. Hang on, let me drink some coffee. It passed the House of Representatives yesterday, which was no surprise. But you know, passing the Senate, they only have you know, +1 in the Senate. There's a number of Republican senators that are not going to vote yes, so they will need some Democrats to fill in that gap, and the Democrats are, you know, they're not going to let this go. They're very determined to stop the government from, and it, you know, it's all about public perception also, you know. I mean, they're probably polling, how will that reflect on public opinion? Are they going to blame the Republicans or the Democrats? So my understanding is now that they will blame the Republicans, so the Democrats will you know, see this through and block it, which would be dollar negative in my opinion. Okay, not much else to say about dollar yen, except maybe resistance. You know, either it's 1135 approximately, or you see the 200 daily moving average, which now is at 111.71. That should provide resistance, and if we get there, would be a nice area to sell again. But still, I think we're going to make a lower low first. 109.50, so 109.85 to 109.50 right here, and then just like the DXY, a little bit of a correction. Let's look at dollar CAD. Dollar CAD actually, even though on an hourly, you know, 100 or 200 pips up and 200, or a range of 200 and I don't know, 250 pips, but we're basically, you know, a little over, a little below the weekly open. So not much to say about it. Still think it's bearish. So look for downside. It will come, you know, but dollar CAD is like a pair. Once it starts moving, it moves, but it takes a few false starts. So that's what we're doing right now, just like last week. You know, we're in this range, 25, call it 25.80 to 23.60, going up and down. You know, look for the short side. So, you know, any rally is an opportunity to sell. And the first target would be this weekly reversal, 121.90 would be the first one to look at, actually. Like this. But, you know, it will go a lot lower. The targets are clear. It's below 120 for sure. Well, for sure, in my opinion. All right, so pound actually reached, you know, the targets from this channel or fork or whatever you want to call it. It's been trying a couple of times. You can see that on the daily. So that level here, 39.24. We went briefly above it, I think, today. The high was 39.44, so 20 pips above it. That's actually this sliding parallel, which I could adjust a little bit so it's precise here, you know, and we haven't had a daily close above it. So let's see how this ends today. A down day wouldn't surprise me. You know, the move has been strong, even though, you know, RSI is overbought, but yeah. Should be, let's look at a 4-hour, see if we can spot some RSI divergence at the highs. And there it is. Yeah. All right, let me get rid of this. So yeah, healthy pullback. Well, as you can see, let me put it on a line chart. You know, higher prices, higher closes since here, but RSI hasn't really confirmed, right? So what would be good is a test of the 60, which would, you know, maybe not as big as pullback as this, but this would be a level, you know, low 38s as support. So let me put that here. Low 38s for support before higher. Would that be a level here? Yeah, something like this. You know, the red zone, let's call it, that should hold the top of the red zone, and we're still gonna go higher. That's my thinking. All right, Aussie. reached target actually, which was a weekly reversal here. Aussie's still strong though. We're at the median line. We're slicing through it on a weekly. Too bad it's the end of the week, so can't really. Well, you never know. But if we go below, above 81 cents, which isn't really, impossible before the end of the day, if there's more leaks about the Senate not approving and so on, then the dollar could take a dive before the weekend, and would drag all the dollar denominated pairs up, of course, or down if like in the case of dollar yen. On a daily, a little bit higher to go for the first, which is a daily reversal level here, and 82 would be a very defined level from a slope perspective. Extrapolated to the future would put this at 82. So strong. Is it overbought? Yeah. Does it have to pull back? No. So the same thing with here and the pound and Kiwi. Nothing really says that a pair has to pull back because RSI is strong, right? The only thing is, if you see RSI divergence, that is usually indicative of some sort of a intermediary top for a correction, which we're seeing here actually too. So yeah, no RSI divergence on the Aussie and here on the Kiwi. So let's go to Aussie Kiwi, and that has been pretty nice. This is a daily. We're attacking the 100 DMA. I usually don't have it on my chart. I just put it on there yesterday because of silver, but now that I'm looking at it, with support here, resistance all the way here, we only peaked above it, but we got a reversal. So 110, 110.13 could, give a little bit of a pause in this up move, because basically since the 12th we've been going up, even though it didn't feel like it because of the whipsaw movements. It's probably clearer on a weekly. We've been going up all week, so make no mistake, Aussie Kiwi is putting in a nice week. If we close at the highs, look for continuation. If we can get past that 113 to 116, which is, the highs here. But has a lot of potential, bouncing off this horizontal level, basically 50-51 RSI. We need to get a little bit stronger, and then it's off to the races, which I think will happen. This is just way too clean. This red sliding parallel, how it has been, some kind of a pivot for highs and lows, even though, we went above it a little bit, but it's an important level. And I think it's time that this thing gets some upside. Let's look at the anti-euro. So yeah, dollar Swiss, make no mistake, this is going to happen. At least, the first one, and the second one has a big chance of being hit too. So make no mistake, this is happening. One comment from the SMB isn't gonna stop this going down. So on a daily, median line, tried to get above it again, reversed, went lower. We're is back at resistance basically again now. So it's going down from here. What else? Pound NZD. Yeah, it's an interesting candle formation, these three candles. So if we get some confirmation above 192, then this could really start, getting some real upside. Yeah, there's huge potential here. And of course, for the other pound pairs, the crosses, of course, pound Aussie is just waiting for Aussie to get to 81 or 82, I think, and then this thing can also jump start to the upside. Pound CAD, of course, that's a different. It's a different animal. Yeah, I should have just played weeklies. Don't know why I just don't do it. I said this a couple of times. This was so nice. 200 support. We're up 2 weeks now. But with the CAD strength that I'm thinking that is still coming, and with the pound pulling back, yeah, I don't really like this this pair. Then before we wrap this up, let's look at silver and gold. So let's look at gold first. Everybody and his brother is calling for this to go down. That's usually a sign that it won't. We're basically in limbo now. I mean, I don't understand why anybody can call up or down here. You see this red sliding parallel? We're trading in between here, and we still made a higher weekly high. So unless we drop below, let's call it the weekly low, there is nothing that doesn't say continuation. Yeah, sure. No indication whatsoever. So if you look at a daily, this slide parallel, resistance, support, and we're going higher. All right. 4 hour. Oops, that was a typo. Yeah, nothing to see here, basically. I'm torn between liking this chart or not, but what you could do is yeah, this is not bad. Keep this on the chart as a support level. Resistance here. Price acted around here. Resistance here and was support here. So let's keep this on there. in the next couple of 4-hour candles. 1324 should provide support again, but I do think we're going higher. Let's look at, let's start with a weekly at silver too. 55 MA, we're going to close above it, hopefully. So I would call this still bullish on a daily. So that's what I posted yesterday on Twitter. You know, the 100 and the 200 are right here. We bounced off the 100, right? We're 10 cents higher. So this is a positive development, so to speak, but you know, we're still in this range here. I do think we're gonna top this and make higher highs here. So above 1739 on this chart with the FXCM prices, which is 2 cents difference between AxiTrader, for instance, by the way. So if I post on Twitter, those are the FXCM prices, and they are 2 cents difference with for instance, AxiTrader, and probably other broker platforms too. So I'm still looking for this green line, right? 1758 or 1760 on other platforms. And after that, you know, median line. Okay, so that was it. I will make a, you know, weekend video as I always do. And thank you for listening, and have a great day.